TitleMatchNetwork.com.
Memories of reffing some of your first matches.
Some of my first one, oh, I got a good one. I was refereeing the girls in Kansas City, Missouri. And it was Joyce Grable and Leilani Kai, and Judy Martin. And I can't remember who the fourth girl was. It might have been Wendi Richter, being very young before she got her break. It might have been her. It was a tag match. I should have known something was going on because I looked up on the stage and all the guys was out watching, peeking through the curtain to watch this match. You know, guys usually watch, so I didn't think much of it. So they did this spot where the girls are doing the rowboat. The babyface girls are doing the legs, and the girl, and they're yelling, jump in the middle, jump in the middle. I'm like, jump in the middle? So I didn't know what they wanted, so I jumped in the middle, and they just piled on me. So we go down in a pile, and I realized that somebody's undoing my belt and my pants in this pile. And I'm like, whoa! So I reach out and I grab the ropes and I pull myself out of the pile. And when I do, my pants come down almost to my knees, and all the girls just jump up and let me go. And I get up in the middle of the ring, I'm like, oh, my pants. And the crowd went nuts. And I looked up on the stage, and the guys were all belly laughing at me. I was like, okay, y'all got me.
Right. I guess, did you get to ref any of your dad's matches? Did you say that?
Mm-hmm.
You got to, okay. How was that for you?
It was different. It was fun, though, because he always cut up with me in the ring. He wore that mask, and nobody could tell what he was saying or doing. And he'd try to make you laugh sometimes, and I was always trying not to laugh, or else he'd get me and pinch me on this soft skin. Just, oh my, that hurts bad.
Right.
When you're not expecting it, then you're just trying to talk. I was like, you jump and yell. Like, what's wrong with him? They don't know you just got pain on the inside of the leg. It'd get me there sometimes, too. Him and Harley Race would always, they tore me up with that.
I kind of jumped ahead. I want to kind of backtrack in the Georgia territory. Some of the guys that you refereed matches for, any of those matches stand out as far as
a lot of them do. It's funny because I get that question a lot. What match really stands out in your mind, your career? And it's hard to say because this is like my 29th year, and I've been through a lot of different generations, and each generation has their own, and each one of those matches are special in its own way. And it's really hard to say, without saying, well, I like the 80s guys better than the 90s guys, which, that's not really the case, I did a lot of different title matches where there was title changes. When Tommy Rich won the title, when Dusty Rhodes won the title, when Harley won it back. There's just all kinds of title matches that I ended up doing. That, to be that young, that impressed me to be able to do those matches.
In the early 80s, did you ever fuck up a spot?
Everybody does.
Right. And during like a main event type match, as far as like something that was important that you got to eat for, or was it pretty much all right,
One time, knock on wood, I was pretty fortunate. I didn't screw up a lot. I was just so gung-ho and into what I was doing, and I would talk to the guys, and say, okay, now what do you want me to do? What do you need me to do?
Right.
I wouldn't want to make that mistake, but there was one time in Macon, Georgia, where they did a thing, and it was Wrestling 2, and Mark Lewin, and Frankie Kane was his manager. That was a great Mephisto. And they did something where they were supposed to get some heat on 2, but they did everything right in front of me.
Huh.
So I just went ahead and DQ'd them, which is what I was supposed to do.
Right.
But which I'd have been okay if I'd have done that with first or second match guys, but I did it with these guys, and I got a little heat for that, but it blew over. It wasn't big, not easy. Yeah.
I guess at what age did you tell your father that you wanted to get into the business?
I don't think that ever came. I think he could always just tell that I wanted to. I didn't ever just build up the courage to come and tell him. That scenario never happened. I was always around it, and he could tell I was enthusiastic about it, and that scenario never really did come up. He knew I was interested in it, and I guess he knew when the time came, he'd try to help me out, any way he could.
Yeah, I was going to ask. That was one of my questions. Was your father very helpful to you?
Oh yeah, he helped me. I would never be where I'm at without my dad's input and helping me get started and helping me break in. Like I said, when I first broke in, my first match I did, as a referee. I was traveling with my dad. I graduated high school. We moved back to St. Joe because we'd been all over the country. And my dad hadn't seen his mother, and my mom hadn't seen her mother. And, you know, I mean, they'd seen them, but they'd come in and, you know, they'd fly somewhere and see them for a week, and then they'd have to go back home. You know, it wasn't like we were home and we saw them all the time. You know, I didn't see I never even knew my grandfathers really until I got out of school because they were divorces and stuff. But my grandmothers I knew as a little boy. And then we moved to Georgia. I think I was like in about the 4th grade. And then I wouldn't see them but maybe once every couple of years when they'd come to visit, you know. So that part of it was different. You know, we got you miss out on a lot of family stuff. You know, I knew my grandparents. I know all my cousins, but I never really had a chance to grow and become really close to a lot of my cousins.
Were you I guess Jim Crockett. Let's talk about how you got into Jim Crockett's company. How did that come about?
Well, I had been hurt. I was out for a while. My dad ran a wrestling school, and I was training guys and helping him promote towns. And then he got on with WCW, which was then owned by Crockett. It wasn't Turner.
Right.
I never really got on with Crockett. By the time I got on, Turner had already bought it.
WCW, okay.
Yeah. And my dad worked for him when Crockett had it, but Turner had just bought it when I got on. So I didn't really, you know, I went and worked shots for Crockett, but I never actually worked the territory and moved up to Charlotte or anything.
Did you get to meet Jim at all? Or?
Oh yeah, I met all of them.
What are your memories of Jim Crockett?
Typical promoter from the day, you know.
Right.
He was good to his guys that he liked and looked down his nose at everybody else.
Right.
I had a lot of time for Jackie Crockett, but I didn't have too much time for Jim Crockett.
Okay. What about early memories of Tommy Young?
I like Tommy. Tommy's a funny guy. Tommy, I got along good with Tommy. We traveled, you know, when I first broke into WCW, we traveled a lot together. And it was a shame when I saw him get hurt and get out of the business because I knew he loved the business so much. But Tommy was a good guy. He was a good guy. I never had any problems with Tommy.
What were some of your favorite finishes that you were involved in?
Wow. My favorite finish was the old referee finish when my arm gave out on me when I was counting somebody out. That was so funny.
Right.
And it got such a good reaction because of the timing we did it. You know, I didn't do anything bad. You know, they was looking, when he's going to do something. I know he's going to do it. I wouldn't do it the whole match. And then when it come that time, and everybody, they would think, oh, this is the finish. 1, 2. And when I did that,
That was awesome.
you could just feel the whole building go, ooh, that was cool. That was fun.
Whose idea was that? Who came up with
I
that?
think it was Kevin Sullivan.
Right.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.